People, they say the market is for living by day, but for the secret just night. I shot.
Everyone thinks she is a prayer warrior. They call her Mamarganing with a shadow. But why is she paying with a lock of hair?
If you have a mother-in-law who leaves the house at night, you must watch this. Your life may depend on the secret I'm about to tell you on OSG TV.
I am Auntie Fa, and today on Secret TV, we are entering the shadows of a house that looked perfect from the outside. But as I always tell you, a clean floor can hide a very dirty secret. F was a lucky woman. That is what everyone in the village said. Her husband, Kofi, was hard-working, and her mother-in-law, Mama Rose, was a saint. Mama Rose was the kind of woman who arrived at your house with fresh bread and a prayer on her lips. She cleaned the corners of the house that F forgot. She sang hymns while she washed the clothes. She was the gold standard. But F felt a cold shiver every time Mama Rose hugged her. Have you ever felt that? When someone is too kind, too perfect, it feels like a mask. And F knew that masks eventually crack. The first crack was the red mud. Pause. Every morning, at 6 a.m., F would find streaks of thick, red forest mud on the white rug in the sitting room. But here is the thing, it was the dry season. The dust in the village was brown and thirsty. The only place you find that deep, wet, red clay is 5 miles deep into the forbidden forest, near the old market square that was abandoned 50 years ago. F began to watch. She began to listen. She noticed that Mama Rose never ate meat. She noticed that Mama Rose would spend hours staring at a lock of F's hair she had collected from a hairbrush. And most importantly, she noticed the clock. Every night, at exactly 2:59 a.m., the house would go silent. Even the crickets would stop chirping. It was as if the world was holding its breath. Pause. Last Tuesday, F decided to find the truth. She didn't tell Kofi. How could she? Kofi worshipped his mother. He would call F insecure or ungrateful. So, F stayed awake. She rubbed pepper in her eyes to stay alert. At 2:45 a.m., the floorboards creaked. Creak. 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 F watched through the gap in her bedroom door. There was Mama Rose, wrapped in a heavy charcoal shawl. She wasn't walking like an old woman with back pain. She was moving with a terrifying purpose. She carried a small leather pouch, and in her eyes was a look F had never seen, a look of desperate hunger. F grabbed her phone and slipped out the back door. She followed the red mud trail. The forest at 3 a.m. is not a place for the living. The trees look like reaching hands. The air smells like damp earth and old copper. F's heart was drumming against her ribs, thump, 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 but her curiosity was stronger than her fear. That is the trap of a secret, isn't it? It pulls you in until you can't find the exit. Suddenly, the forest opened up. F gasped, covering her mouth to stay silent. Pause. The abandoned market square was glowing. But there were no fires. Instead, hundreds of dim, blue lanterns hung from the dead trees. And the people, oh, my sisters, the people. There were hundreds of them, dressed in old-fashioned clothes, moving between the stalls. But there was no noise. No shouting of prices. No laughter. No goats bleating. It was the silent market. F saw Mama Rose walk toward the center. She approached a figure that was 7 feet tall, wrapped in a cloth so black it looked like a hole in the universe. F pulled out her phone and started recording. This was it. The proof. The witchcraft. She watched as Mama Rose opened her pouch. Out came the lock of F's hair. Out came a piece of the lace from F's wedding dress. F's blood ran cold. She is selling me, F thought. She is trading my life for gold. She is using my wedding dress to bind my womb. The tall figure reached out a hand that looked like dry bone and took the items. In exchange, it handed Mama Rose a small, crystal bottle. Inside was a liquid that pulsed with a sickly green light. Mama Rose clutched it to her chest as if it were a diamond. She looked relieved. She looked satisfied. F couldn't take it anymore. The psychological pressure snapped. She jumped out from behind the baobab tree, screaming at the top of her lungs. Pause, I caught you. You wicked woman. I caught you. F ran into the center of the square, waving her phone like a weapon. I have the proof. You are trading my soul. You are a witch, Mama Rose. The reaction was instantaneous and terrifying. The blue lanterns blew out all at once. The tall figure dissolved into smoke. The silent crowds turned into dry leaves and blew away in a sudden, freezing wind. In a heartbeat, the market was gone. There were no stalls. No lanterns. Just F and Mama Rose standing in a dark, empty forest clearing under the moonlight. Mama Rose fell to her knees. She wasn't looking at F with anger. She was looking at her with a horror so deep it looked like death. The crystal bottle lay on the ground, shattered. The green liquid was soaking into the red mud, disappearing forever. What have you done? Mama Rose whispered. Her voice sounded like breaking glass. F, what have you done? I saved myself. F shouted, though her voice was trembling. I saw the hair. I saw the wedding lace. You were selling me to the shadows. Mama Rose began to weep. Not the quiet cry of a grandmother, but the soul-wrenching wail of a mother who has just lost her child. Pause, F, Mama Rose gasped, clutching her chest. You don't understand the silent market. You can only buy what is already being taken away. I wasn't selling your soul. I was buying your breath. F froze. What are you talking about? Your mother died at 25, F. Your grandmother died at 25. A shadow follows the woman in your bloodline. It is a silent sickness of the heart. I saw it coming for you 3 months ago. I saw the gray tint in your eyes. I saw the way you gasped for air in your sleep. Mama Rose pulled a crumpled medical report from her shawl, a report F didn't even know existed. It was a diagnosis from a city doctor Mama Rose had paid to review F's childhood records. The silent market doesn't take gold, Mama Rose sobbed. It takes a sacrifice from the one who loves you. I went there every night to trade my own years for yours. The hair and the lace were anchors, they were the only way the spirits could find you to deliver the healing. That green liquid, it was the final dose. One more night, F. I only needed one more night to finish the trade. I was giving you my old age so you could see your children grow. The silence that followed was louder than F's scream. Pause, F looked at the shattered glass on the ground. She looked at her mother-in-law, who suddenly looked 20 years older. Mama Rose's hair was turning grey before her very eyes. Her skin was wrinkling. The Le Saint was literally withering away because the trade had been interrupted. F realized the psychological trap she had fallen into. She was so convinced of the wicked mother-in-law story that she had destroyed her own savior. She had used her digital witness to record a crime that was actually an act of ultimate love. By the time they walked back to the village, Mama Rose could barely move. She had given so much, and now, because of F's curiosity, the healing was gone. F spent the next 3 days by Mama Rose's bedside, but the red mud was gone from the carpet. The 3 a.m. creaks had stopped. And F started feeling the heaviness in her own chest again. The shadow had returned. This is Auntie Fa, speaking to you from the heart of Secret TV. Pause, we live in a world where we are told to document everything. We are told that every secret is a lie. But sometimes, my people, a secret is a shield. Sometimes, the person you are exposing is the only person standing between you and the grave. F thought she was the hero of a thriller movie. She thought she was the brave daughter uncovering the truth. But she learned the hardest lesson of all: curiosity without wisdom is just another word for destruction. Before you judge the person who leaves at 3 a.m., ask yourself, are they going out to hurt you, or are they going out to fight the demons you are too weak to see? Mama Rose is still with us, but she no longer speaks. She just watches F with eyes full of a sad, quiet love. And F never touches her phone anymore. She realized that some things aren't meant to be recorded. They are only meant to be felt. You have been watching Secret TV. Be careful what you go looking for in the dark. You might just find exactly what you were looking for and lose everything else in the process. Subscribe if you have the heart to hear the truth. Leave a comment if you have ever misjudged a sacrifice. I am Auntie Fa. Sleep with one eye open, but keep your heart wider. Bye bye.